Howdy folks, my name's Artur Rehi and I'm from Indiana. That's a lie. I'm actually from Estonia. Today we're going to watch a video about American Army, jungle training. Estonia is no jungle nation, but let me tell you, we're no desert nation also. When I was in the army, most what I got was rain, wet, moisture and forest. So it's quite close to the jungle, but I know it's not the jungle. You still have to employ different tactics in the jungle to survive, so it doesn't quite compare, but I have some experience on it. So I'm gonna compare it now with this crazy jungle army training. Let's see how different are Estonian weather and the jungle weather really.
JWTC, the Jungle Warfare Training Center.
I already paused. Look, we had an exactly the same. We have the same helmets. We order our helmets from USA, I think, yeah. And also the covers and everything were exactly the same. You can see these neon dots behind it, not on the front, because you have to see your men from behind that you don't shoot them in the back. But you can't put them on the front, otherwise the enemy will see it. I didn't figure that out when I went in the army, and I wore it, I think for a week. I wore it the wrong way. I put the helmet camouflage on the wrong way, so the neon straps were on the front, which was really damn stupid, because my enemy could see the straps all the time. It was quite embarrassing actually, but it happens sometimes. I mean, even more stupid things happens in the army. If you've been in the army, you know that the most stupid things ever happen there. Like, people turn idiots in the army, I don't know why. Including me.
It's on the northern end of Okinawa, on Camp Gonsalves. It's massive. You're just looking at double canopy jungle, rolling hills. Well, not really rolling hills so much as, you know, you're going like this 1 minute, you get 2 seconds of flat ground, and then you're going back down a hill. It gave me a much better appreciation for the guys. Took this island and other islands like it during World War II, and everybody that served in Vietnam. I don't know how, especially in Vietnam, you know, 13-month tours in the jungle. I don't know how guys did that, because I was there for 8 days and I was destroyed.
Alright, yeah, it doesn't compare to Estonia. We don't have mountains like that. We have slight hills that go smoothly, but not like that. And I think the rains are a bit softer, and also it's not that tense. Jungles are really tense, right? At the conclusion of jungle warfare training, Marines must trudge through roughly 5 miles of Okinawan jungle and take on 30 obstacles in a culminating event known as the entrance course. So they're trying to get the Second World War Japanese theater experience, right? And imagine those dudes, yeah, they were there over a year and their lifestyle was jungle warfare basically, and Vietnam War also. As he said, he was there 8 days and he was destroyed. Also, we went to the forest in the Estonian army when I was training. We had 3-week camps, sometimes 2-week camps, and they were devastating on me. And then I think about that, if you're in Second World War, you were living the trench life for 4 years in a row. Sometimes it's city warfare, sometimes trench warfare, or First World War. It was your life for 4 years to live in a trench and just fight every day. And I couldn't even take 2 weeks of the, you know, warlike scenarios. So I don't know how these men do it. I guess that's why there's so many suicides among the vets, because if you get used to that life, it takes a toll on you, and if you come back to civilian life, you kind of can't come back anymore, because if you give your hand to the devil, you get used to the war, you can't come back from there, so you kill yourself. I think that's why there's so many PTSD, so much suicide on the veterans. And people have really hard time coming back to civilian world when they come from war zone.
The endurance course, or the E-course, it's about 5 miles long, and there's 30 obstacles in this thing. Everything from a vertical wall, 10-foot wall you got to climb over, to a cargo net, to something they call the pit and pond. Some of the filthiest water I've ever seen in my life. You're low crawling through it. It comes up almost to your mouth when you're low crawling. Wearing your Kevlar, your camelback, carrying around a rubber rifle.
A rubber rifle, right? Because I don't know about this now. We were told to keep our rifles dry, but our rifles were AK-4s, which are a derivation of a G4 German weapon. it is old weapon. My personal weapon was about 50 years old at least, and it didn't want any water. It would rust. But these M16s, I don't think they're any newer. M16s are really old type of weapons. They're also like 50 years old at least. Estonia has a lot of American M16s, by the way, if you didn't know. America didn't want them at some point, and they'd send those to us by the thousands. We have AK-4s and we have M16s. Two type of weapons we have a lot of. But we don't use M16s, we don't use them at all, they're just in a warehouse. But I'm not sure a real M16, a 50-year-old weapon could go underwater submerged like that. I think it would, you know, rust it, break it. It wouldn't work properly after that, I think. I'm not sure, correct me in the comments if you know.
After that endurance course, I was the dirtiest I've ever been in my life.
You're gonna get dirty, you're gonna get wet, you're gonna be miserable, you're gonna be carrying a lot of weight, you're gonna have casualties, you're gonna be put under a lot of stress, and at the same time being told to move faster and faster, which is everything that ideally we're pretty much already familiar with, you know, being in a stressful environment as Marines.
Yeah, he says we're gonna get wet, we're gonna have a lot of stress. People don't think about getting wet. Oh, you get a bit wet, who cares, you're not made of sugar, you know. That's what they say in Estonia, you're afraid of rain. Let me tell you, if you haven't been wet for 3 or 4 days in a row, not being able to ever get dry, even you sleep in a wet sleeping bag, everything is wet around you all the time, you cannot get dry, you're always cold and you're always wet, you think differently about rain. I hate rain now. Before the army, it was like rain. I ran outside, I'm like, rain, yeah. After the army, moisture and rain is one of your worst enemies at all. It doesn't mean you're weak, it just is the most horrible thing if you can't get dry. You need a lot more food to dry your clothes, because food is turned into heat in your body. And you need a lot more body heat to dry your clothes, and it's always raining or you're always wet, then you just get tired a lot more because the food goes to the heat, and it changes everything if you are wet. If it's cold and wet, it changes everything, believe me. It's the most horrible thing, I believe.
Second nature, but they definitely try to increase the pressure as the course goes on. It's really just a gigantic team building exercise. In Jungle Warfare Training Center, they teach you mainly to patrol through the jungle, setting up patrol bases, individual skills such as knot tying, hasty rappelling, conducting operations that an infantry battalion would be anticipated to do.
Hasty rappelling was actually one of the more enjoyable parts of JWTC. I'm terrified of heights. I absolutely hate heights, but the hasty rappelling's fun. It's anytime you come upon a pretty decent downslope, but not a vertical face. You just tie a rope off at the top, throw it down the decline, and you got one arm out behind you, the rope wrapped around your back, and another arm in front of you, and you're basically leaning so that your body is perfectly perpendicular to the ground. So you know, if you got a slope like this, you want your body perfectly perpendicular. So you're just holding onto this rope, and the best way to do it, this is gonna sound stupid, but the best way to do it is just run. You run. Don't look where you're going. Don't try to put your feet certain places because you're going to fall. If you just run full speed, you'll be all right.
That's trust. You have to trust the ground, trust the gravity, trust the rope, trust your hands. And trust the guy who fixed the rope on top of the mountain. Just a lot of trust there. We didn't do that. I wish we did. We didn't. That's really cool. And that's jungle warfare. Like that's why we didn't do it. We don't have slopes like that in Estonia. No need to teach people that, but in jungle warfare that's what you do, and if you don't know how to do that, going down from those hills will make injuries. It really does. Oh, hills, who cares? We have enemies, right, who kill us. No, you go down the hill, you break your leg, very possible. 2 men have to carry you after that, so 3 men are out because you didn't know how to go downhill. That's how important these things are in a warfare situation. Now let's pause for a second and look at this magnificent, beautiful, oh magnifico cup. This will give you immune system. Right now we have crazy times in the world. You know, when there were problems in Iran, then this cup killed the Iranians. Now, who cares about the Iranians? We all care about Corona. This is an immune system cup. You get this, you will never be sick. Look at me, I'm not sick. Welcome back to the Hall of Fame. Can you feel all the fame that comes from this hall? All of that fame! Actually, it's just a regular whiteboard where all of the states and countries are represented who have gotten the Estonian Youtuber Cup. And I'm so glad you guys do this, because thanks to it I can actually not worry about anything during this corona and just focus on making YouTube videos. Thank you so much, and please carry on. I will read you all of the names and we will put them on the Hall of Fame. We have Mr. David Wagner, like Wagner, the musician. Hitler's favorite musician was Wagner, but you are Wagner, almost, Illinois. Tyler Cohen, Texas. Oh, your horses, buddy, oh, your horses. It's not just Texas, it's 4 cups, so 4 points go to Texas. What the hell? Texas is already leading with 2. Now it has 4 more. It means Texas will have 22, which is a new record. Applause for Texan people. Yeah! Jacob Bauer, Indiana. Indiana Jones. Cy Halgen. That sounds like a wrestler name, like some huge wrestler dude with a tank top, like Cy Halgen. You know, that's how it comes. I feel like you're a wrestler. And is Cy a female or a male name? I don't know. But that goes to Alabama. Sweet home Alabama. Oh yeah. Kyle Eriksson. It's like Eriksson, the son of Eric. The son of Eric from Nordic countries, but Eriksson. Texas, once again. Whoa, what were you guys crazy on Texas? How many people live in Texas? Is it that much more than other states? Maybe it's just there's more people, so they order more. But I don't think Texas has the most people. Like, it's just a regular state like any other, right? Wrong! It's Texas! Magnifico! The state is Magnifico. Charles Bushell. Mr. Charles. Charlie for short. You can call me Charlie. Well, Charlie, your point goes to Montana. Hannah Montana, I've seen that movie, pretty funny movie. We don't have Hannah Montana on the board. Let's add it. Are you ready for the last one? Because this is spicy. Sakari Leinonen. Leinonen. That's a Finnish name, because the dude is from Finland. Sakari is a man name, I'm pretty sure. Finland as a country will be represented next to France, UK and Canada. Oh, Finland, you surprised me. Even Estonians, my own country, didn't get the cup before you guys. So yeah, applause to our Nordic big brother Finland. Oh, I need blue color for that. Suomi perkele! Torilla tavataan! Yeah, go Finland. On pohjan tähteen alla. Tää koti mulla on mainen, mä elämästä laulan, olen suomalainen. My friends, I will ask you a question. Should I see your hometowns also? Should I be but should I mention your hometowns? Maybe some of you are from small towns that want to bring some recognition to them. I would want to do that at least. I could mention your hometowns with your states if you want to. And also hometown from Finland. Write it in the comments. I will let you guys decide it. If most of you write it, then I'll announce your hometowns also, so you get some recognition to your small town or big town. Doesn't really matter. Back to the video. You know, there was an old tie between Texas and Washington, but I think those days are over. Now it's all Texas and going ahead, long ahead, way ahead. So if Washingtonians, if you guys think you can do something about it, take matters into your own hands, then do it. If you don't think that, then Texas is gonna just win.
The only real comfort you have on this course is that you don't have any mud on your face and that you're not too wet.
Right.
The pit and pond takes all that and throws it out the window.
You jump down into this pit full of water.
You're skull dragging through some mud. You're going under some of the water obstacles themselves. You're crawling through sea wire.
And then they've got a booby trap. It's concrete blocks, like 2 cinder blocks, with a sheet of...
Okay, I'm really surprised actually that they don't wear glasses. We were forced to wear glasses for eye protection under any circumstance because it's, you know, it's mandatory, so the government is kinda responsible for the well-being of those men there. It's not voluntarily, so you don't give your life away voluntarily. You have to go to the military in Estonia. And thus they don't want you to ruin your eyes, because you have to go back to the worst workforce of Estonia. You have to be in a civilian world also after that. Everybody has to wear protective gear all the time. And they were dealing with barbed wire here. It's the cut wire, it's the worst one. And they weren't wearing glasses and they were so close to it. So if anything happens, they can go blind really easy there. So I'm quite surprised they didn't wear glasses at all.
Plexiglass over the top. You lay there, wiggle your way through with your rifle, you know, on your chest. Just kind of slowly wiggle your way backwards without disturbing that plexiglass. If you touch that plexiglass, not make it fall off, if you touch that plexiglass, everybody in a 5-meter area is dead and has to go back to the beginning.
From where you already are, very uncomfortable, it takes you to the next level. About 80% of the area that we're operating in the Pacific region is a jungle environment. The reason that we need to be proficient at our job in a jungle environment is because at any time we can be called upon to, deploy to those areas to provide aid, security assistance, whatever the case may be.
Ooh, this is army. This is not Marines, it's army, right? Just a regular army. But it's really hard, it's really difficult. If men learn that, if they endure that, then you endure in the jungle environment, then you have desert warfare. If you learn both of them, then you have naval warfare. You learn all of them, then you can fight all over the world. And American foreign bases are a number of 600, I think. So it's all over the world. Antarctic, desert, jungle, ocean, everywhere. You have to know how to fight everywhere, basically. US soldiers, that's why they have to be one of the best in the world, because the environment is different everywhere. The enemies are different. And all of the time, US has the win, otherwise it's not the US anymore. And Vietnam War was kind of lost. It wasn't lost, but it was kind of lost. Because it was impossible. It was the home ground for the Vietnamese. Also, it was the jungle. One of the most impossible warfares in the world is jungle warfare. And it was guerrilla, which means you don't see your enemy, you can't kill it. We have tough times right now. I will still continue making my videos. I know many people are laid off already. In Estonia, we have economic crisis already. In America, maybe you guys are stronger, but here people are getting laid off. Some people don't have jobs anymore. The unemployment is rising really quickly because no one can work right now. It's crisis. It's truly a crisis compared to similar to 2008 crisis. So if you guys are patrons, I really appreciate it, knowing how hard it is for you, how hard it is, and you still want to support. I will read you 3 new patrons. Logan Culbertson, thank you so much. Randy Renier, thank you. Jordan G, or Jordan Gamel, thank you. These 3 new patrons are very generous because of the hard times. They still give. This is how big hearts people have. Thank you so much for making this channel possible. And as always, my friends, until my next video, go and get yourself a good new immune system cup. Stay cool and bye bye.